Hey peeps, Dee here. Welcome to my studio, welcome to my channel, and welcome to this tutorial. You know, one of my goals when I do these tutorials is to make things that are absolutely doable and either fun or funny or interesting. Things that, you know, you'll want to make and you'll want to wear. Everything doesn't have to be complicated. I like doing things that aren't terribly complicated. And so this bracelet or this bead, we're actually going to make these beads. They aren't. I really like them. They look like water. They look like waves, like lapping up to the shore, or waves in the ocean. You know, I like it. I like it a lot. So I made it in blue. We're going to be making it in blue. It's kind of beachy type wear. I also made it in black though. So these are like black waves. There we go. And at the end of class, we're just going to make a funky, fun little X bead. It's really simple to do. Okay, we're going to put bead caps. We're going to make our own bead caps too. All right, so I think I've said enough. I think it's time to begin. We got some beads to make. Okay, so what we're going to do is make a Skinner blend, turn it into a plug. Now, I wanted to show you this because this is typically the size of the plugs I make, right? About 1.5 inches. This is what we're going to be doing. See how short it is? It's as if I took this plug and just went, I made it like that tall. That's what we have to do. Okay. I like these beads because you just reach into your box of colored clay and you grab two that you want to Skinner blend. This is turquoise. My turquoise tends to be pretty blue, so this has probably a little green in it and white. This has more green in it and more white and a little bit of something else. Anyway, let me turn these into sheets. I'm going to Skinner blend them. We're going to make a plug. All right, here are my 2 sheets. Now, I'm just going to make a regular old 2-part Skinner blend. The way I do them is I take a corner and I pull it up to the other corner. Then I repeat on the other with the other color. Now I stack them together just like this. And I'm going to make 2 cuts, and those 2 cuts create a 90-degree angle. So here's one, and here's the second, and this is a 90-degree angle. Okay, separate, put them back together, not so they look like a kite. Make sure that what you're doing is putting together something that looks like a square or a rectangle, but not a kite. Okay. The corners don't meet. There's area here, which is this color, so that the blend will occur from here to here, and I will still have the original colors on the ends. First time I rolled it through, 2 colors touch the rollers. Not one, 2. Okay, so let's do it. Ta-da! Now, every time after, you're going to fold it the same way. Same color edge on same color edge. Like so. Fold on the rollers, roll through. Same color on same color. Fold on the rollers and roll through. You remember those few things and you will always make a nice Skinner blend. Okay, so let me continue. I don't know how many times it's going to take. Could take 10, could take 20. I'll try to remember to count. 15 times, and this is what I have, and I think this is fine. Now, let's make a plug. I'm going to roll the blend back on itself. See? Rolling the blend back on itself. Not here to here, not here to here, but this way. Yes. Yep. Okay. Making a plug is very simple. It is reverse reduction. You know, when you're reducing a can, you go like that. Well, plugging is like out here and then it comes together. Like so. You can see that the center is getting chunky. Every now and then, stand it up, push the ends in, roll it down again. You can even do that. It's gonna push the ends in, like so. I'm squeezing and then I'm pinching the ends. Squeeze, pinch, squeeze, pinch. Sometimes you develop a waist in the middle. It doesn't seem to want to spread out in the middle. And if that happens, then what you want to do is just grip the ends, twist, and push. And just force it to do what you want it to do. You see? Not a problem. Let's go to the end again. It's getting shorter, getting shorter, which is what we want. I want it to be short, short. Okay. See how short it is now? Mm-hmm. All right. I think I'll stop here. That is a nice short plug. Let's make some beads. Now, this white clay has been rolled through setting number 5 on my pasta machine. Let me set up so I don't like move my hands down. You guys know I have a tendency to do that, right? And all I have here, of course, is, oh, my battery. My battery is scrap clay. Yeah. Okay, so let's just wrap it up. And I really am doing this just in case the cane that I put on the surface, wherever it went, this guy, gets so thin that you start to see through it. Yeah, I don't want to see through it, so just this thin sheet of white is going to help me out. Okay, very good. Now, let us cut some slices off of this guy. I'm going to use my Mark-Sit. I will measure 3 millimeters. Let's see how that goes. 3 millimeters. Cut. Now, this little slice, I'm going to place this edge on the rollers. I'm going to roll it through like 2, 3, and then 5. 2, 2, 2, 3. Just making it long. And 5. 2, 3, and 5. Perfect. Very good. And the edges look nice and smooth. I don't know that I have to do much trimming at all. Best to have something nice and clean, like that. Trim the other side as well, like so. All right. Now, this is just pressed to the side of the cylinder, just like that. trim the excess away. Hopefully I can get 2 out of this one piece. Now I'm going to take white and black. Both have been rolled through setting number 5, which is the same setting as this guy, right? This is like way longer than I need. And I'm going to take a thin strip of white like that and press it to the light side of the slice. I think that this amplifies, this light here at the light actually makes it pop out more, okay? Now, adjacent to the white, I am going to put a very thin sheet of black. Okay, let's cut this baby, and it's very thin, thinner than the white. I just like to slide it in if I can, and then back the blade out like so. So basically that's it. The strip, a stripe of white, a stripe of black, and then the strip again. And when you take that next strip, you want to make sure that the dark is up against the black. Just like that. Then you repeat white, black, strip, white, black, strip. All right, so let me prepare and do one more. You don't have to watch. I think you've got the arrangement, and I'll be back. Okay, so here we are at the end. Now, I purposely made this strip a lot narrower. See, I cut off a lot more of the light and of the dark because I wanted to show you something. I wanted to show you the shriver, Sarah Shriver, who is a polymer artist, been around for longer than I have, certainly. I would say Sarah was like part of the first wave, the original founding wave of artists in polymer clay. And she does beautiful work. She's a really nice person and extremely clever, as you will see in a moment. All right. I have followed the same. That seems a little thick. Thick. Let's make it much thinner. Like that. All right. Oh dear, what are we going to do now? Look at the space. Oh no. Tragedy. Because I want this to match up. I don't want to have a space. What shall I do? I'm going to do the shriver. You know what it is? Brilliant. You take your blade and you cut to the center like this. See? Straight in. And then on the other side, you do the same thing. Now I'm aiming to the center. Just like that. Now let's remove this wedge of clay. Like so. A little bit extra in there. Let's see if I can get it out. Sometimes you don't cut all the way to the center. Not sure how much that matters. but might as well try to do it right. Right? Right. Okay. Wedge. Now, it's so brilliant. Now close it. Oh. How cool is that? And that is Sarah Shriver. Very clever. Now the pattern matches all the way around. I pick up schmutz wherever I go. I do. Okay, kids. So now it's time to reduce and do some twisting. Yeah, reduce and twist. Let me move some things away because I have a tendency to pick up schmutz. Okay. Now, the diameter. How big are these beads we're gonna make? This is, I confess, the second time I'm doing it. The first time I made this, I'm like, that's ridiculously small. So I decided to do it again and to show you the shriver. Okay, so this little cylinder is pretty big. If I twist it, cut a section off, and then finish it off by pinching the ends and pulling the side clay over to cover the scrap inside, I've got a pretty big bead. Yeah. I will have a very big bead. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, in my life, my clay pieces tend to grow. I do more big beads than small ones. I always have. But I think it's also polymer clay, the nature of it. You know, a 10 millimeter glass bead, we would say, that's pretty darn big bead. A 10 millimeter clay bead is a small bead. So let's aim for, you know, in the 20 millimeter range. How's that? 20 millimeters. This is 20, hello. This is 20 millimeters from here to here, 2 centimeters. That. So I think that's where we're gonna go. We'll try to make something that's within the 15 to 20 millimeter range. And that's the thing. I'm not going to aim for a specific number. It's sort of a medium-sized bead, which for me falls in the 15 to 20 millimeter range. Yeah, I'm going to stop. So it's almost at 20 millimeters. Now I'm going to start twisting. Like so. Now, how much you twist is going to determine what the bead looks like as well. Many, many, many twists, you get something that looks like this. See how the stripes are almost horizontal, you know, horizontal. And fewer twists will give you something that sort of more spirals up. See how this line is spiraling up? You could just imagine that it's going around from one pole to the other. This is somewhere in between. Fewer twists than this, but fewer twists than this. But, okay, this is the most twisty. This is the second most twisty, and this is the least twisty. So that's pretty much up to you. What you want, how you want it to look. Personally, I like something in between. I think this is too twisty. I've completely lost that nice angle because it turns it into like a horizontal stripe. But too few, and you end up with, well, I'll show you, something that looks like that. That's too few for me. This is about right for me, but you might have different ideas. All right, the ends, you just have to pay a little more attention to and just manually make it twist more, because they tend to be a lot looser at the ends than in the middle, certainly. So just take your fingers and just twist it around. This is kind of a simple little bead. Didn't want to make anything very complicated, or I don't make a lot of beads. Some people make lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of beads. And beautiful beads, like Shane Smith. Beautiful beads. Gorgeous. Gorge. Karen Lewis. Beautiful beads. Okay, so let's give this a try. This is a nice kind of relaxed twist. Not too much, not too few. Now, I said I wanted between 15 and 20 millimeters. This little thingy is still probably about 15. Let us take the 20 millimeter side of the mark set and impress. So I've transferred the marks, and now I will cut. Let's start with one. It's not a bad idea to just do one, see whether it's twisty enough or too twisty. If it's too twisty, just untwist it. Indent the ends and pull the clay from the sides up and over, like so. Here we go. Okay. Now I'm going to pinch it down a bit, and let's just roll, make it round. Yeah, that's rather a nice bead. I like it. I like it. It's sort of more or less like this. Maybe this had a few more twists in it. If I want more twistiness, then I'm just gonna twist it some more. As I said, if it's too twisty, just untwist it. Let's do the reverse. Okay. Okay, now let me find my mark. Dun, dun, dun. Oh. Clay everywhere. Close it off. And so forth. I like these beads. Not sure what I'm going to do with them, but I like them. I like the three-dimensional look about them. I think they'd be really cool in black and white. There's something about them, I don't know, that's like, you know, that those paper beads where you just take paper and you wind and wind and wind. It just kind of has that look to me. Doesn't really look like paper, but it has the same kind of feel. Da, 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 da. So I did more twisties, but it didn't like really twist it up. Anyway, so that's what you can play with. Let's twist it even more. Don't want to twist it too much. The one that really my least favorite is this one. The super twisty one. That is my least favorite. Now you can make graduated beads kind of this way too. Just take your tool, if you have a mark set, just mark one of the smaller increments, the 3 or the 5, and then just count. So the first bead might be 3, the next bead might be 4, might be 5, and so forth. And you can get graduation that way. Yeah, so this one's more twisty. I just manually made it more twisty, like so. All right, and they appear to be about 20 millimeters. 20 millimeters. So that's a good bead. Now, if you have your scrap clay showing through like that, just take your ball stylus and push it down in. And then pull the side clay up around to cover again. I think I'm going to put bead caps on, so I'm not too concerned. I like bead caps on beads. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me finish up the beads, then we'll put bead caps on. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. All right, let's make some holes. Now, the easiest way, I think, is going to just be place the bead right on your work surface with one hole up. Take your tool, push it straight down and flip it around. Find the center on the other side, and there you go. Done. Now, restore the roundness by rolling. Because they do get just a bit squished. Once again, hole up, straight through, turn it over, find the center of the other side, straight through again, and roll to restore the roundness. Okay, so let me finish these. So let's make some bead caps. This is black clay rolled through setting number 3. First, I'm going to cut them. I am going to cut them, and I'm going to just use these guys. These are ferrules. How big do I want them? That looks like a pretty good size. Okay, so let's just cut them. I need 2 per bead. Like so. So I will make a bunch. Now I also want to make the hole. Let's make it using this yellow one. Now I have pressed the clay to my tile. I really want it to stick. You know what, actually, I take it back. I'm not putting the hole in now. I'm going to wait until the paint is on. Then cut the hole out of the center. Okay, after I have cut all of these, I'll be back. Okay, peeps, I cut all of the bead caps. Now let's take the clay from around them up and off. This is why I want the clay to stick to the tile. Okay. I think for these watery looking beads, they do look like water to me. I am going to make silver ones. Now this paint is iridescent rich silver from Liquitex. Probably take about 3 coats. Like so. Just let the paint dry between the coats. Don't put wet paint on wet paint. You have to let it dry. Okay. Coat number 1. I'll be back. Okay, so it is dry to the touch. I can apply the second coat. I don't use silver as much as I use gold. I really prefer gold, but I thought maybe with the blue, the silver might look a little better. Maybe it was time for me to step outside of my comfort zone. Yeah. I guess sometimes you just gotta do it, right? Okay, so that's coat number 2. Let me show you. And I think I will do one more coat. Gonna let it dry, apply it, and I will show you what it looks like when it's done. So here's what it looks like. Dry to the touch. So now I'm going to put the hole in. Now, I'll show you why you put the holes in after. And why, I don't know why I forget. See this one? I put the paint in. See how the paint kind of went down into the cutter mark? Yeah, it's kind of a pain. Sometimes they stick there. So it's much easier if you wait and you put the holes in after you put the paint on. Okay. It's something, I forget that. Believe me, that's not the first time I started to put those holes in before the paint. Sometimes they get stuck in the cutter. It happens. Just take a needle, push it out. And continue. Okay, well, I can continue this later, that part. So let's just pick one up and put it at a hole. Now, what I use, generally speaking, is this, which is, of course, a craft knife. This sticks on. Find the hole, position it right over the hole, and just press it into place, like so. Turn it over, repeat. No, that one's stuck inside. Sometimes that happens. You can push it out from the back and then it's still usable for another purpose. Center it over the hole. Boom. Bead caps on a bead. Now, before I cure them, I go through every one and I restore the hole. Because I really don't want to drill them later. Okay, so let me finish these, pop them in the oven, and then I'll be back. Okay, peeps. Well, made all these wave beads. They really do look like waves to me. They also look like paper strip beads. I don't know what to call them. Anyway, easy enough to do. I like them. Don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. As long as we're here, and we are here, let's make a second bead. Really simple little second bead, because we already have like the little dots, right? Remember when we made the donuts? Yeah, we used the donuts to make our bead caps, but left behind the donut hole. So that's what all of these guys are. Now you might need more donut holes. It's possible. Okay, so this time, scrap clay I wrapped with black. Same sizes. You know, I made it about the same. I forgot, it was about 14, 15 millimeters in diameter, and 20 millimeters was the length. It's coming back to me. Okay, so let's just close these up. Just like we always do. Yada yada. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these beads. Haven't a clue. Well, let me tell you, in my studio, I do not have a lot of, well, things that are already made in these colors. I just don't. I have to make a whole bunch of things that go in with these colors. Yeah, I do. Because I don't think I want a necklace that's all this bead. You know, I'd like to have a necklace that has several different kinds of beads in coordinating colored ways, and yeah, things I do not have. Okay, so here's our base bead. Let's put the good old hole in. I hear Vernon upstairs doing something. That is my dryer. Okay, I don't know when you're watching this, kids, but it's Saturday. Chore day. All right. Here is what is left of my plugged, extremely plugged Skinner blend. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a little slice like that. And I'm going to roll this through setting number 3. Ta-ta. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to hold it in my fingers. Sometimes I work by holding, you know, like this. But in this case, this is going to get in the way. All right. So off of this slice, let's cut some very thin pieces. See? And I'm just going to put them on this base bead. Now the first time around, I generally put 4 on, just like this, and it's kind of a zigzag kind of pattern. Like so. And now I'm going to make X's. Just like that. Just like that. You can tell I think a lot about it, right? Yeah, which is to say I don't think much about it at all. All right, let's pick up some of our little donut holes and just position them kind of around. A little flash of silver every now and then. Generally speaking, I've been putting either 4 or 5 on. Now I'm going to lightly roll it in my hands so that I sort of flatten out those strips, and I lightly embed the silver dots. Just lightly. Okay? Boom. Instant bead. I think these are really cute, actually. So here, there are a whole bunch of them. I like them. And they're simple. And they will somehow, I think, be used with these wavy guys. I'm not exactly sure how yet. That's sometime in the future. All right. Let's put our bead caps on. Now, if you look at these bead caps, they were made the same way, except that I took another one of these guys, oops, and lightly impressed to make that second ring. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it. Doink. Over the hole. Oh, picked it up. I try hard not to. It's a cute little bead. It is, and it's certainly simple enough. Okay, so let me finish these and cure them. Then I'll be back. Oh, these are cute. All right, guys, it's that time. We're at the end of class. Now, I did take some of those beads and I made a bracelet. I like this bracelet. It's fun. It looks like something you could easily wear to the beach. I did make it in black, so I got black waves and blue waves. Now, I find the size a bit large. Yeah, I find these just a tiny bit large. And I would be afraid if you made something like this, it's on elastic, that if you saw a front and you waved, like, the bracelet might actually launch off of your head. Do you know how I know that? Because it happened. Yeah. The beads on a bracelet I had given to a very good friend of mine, and they were larger than this. They were heavier. She was wearing it, and I saw her from a distance, and she waved at me, and she launched the bracelet. It just flew off of her hand. It was kind of shocking. So anyway, I think that if I were to make another bracelet, I would make it not this tiny. Remember this bead? I said it was too small. Maybe not that size, but somewhere between these two sizes. See how big this one is? See how small this is? Well, there's a lot in between. So I think I would make something that's in between these two. I would. This would be nice on a necklace. So I also tried making them out of this cane, this guy, and yeah, I like them. They're fine. They are a little smaller. If I had more of those, I'd make a bracelet. This was actually the original. You know, I am kind of a slob. Yeah, I am. I'm sorry. But what I want you to see is that I put gold here. So there's gold and black in here. Do I like it? Not particularly. I do, however, like it when you put it on a snail. When you form it into a snail, and then you use a little thin gold snake to define the shape of the snail. I think that's nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so there are a couple snails I made. And here are the actual beads that I ended up making. The one that was very kind of horizontal. And then here are some shells that I made. And I like these. They look like they're overlapping. It really gives you that overlapping feeling in the shells. So maybe I'll make rings out of those. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Here are some leftovers. Here are some with the gold. Here's one black. There's another black. There's a hair. Okay. And here are finally those very simple little X beads I made. Yeah, these aren't bad. You know, simple. Very simple. It could be a nice bracelet. Once again, they are a little large, but they're fun. Okay, so that's it for me. I think I've done everything I meant to do in this tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please, by all means, like. I mean, you don't have to like it. If you didn't like it, don't like it. But please, if you're going to have questions for me, or you want me to see something that you've written, please subscribe. I am trying to manage my time in a certain way. You see, I have only so much time. I try to spend as much time in my studio, and then I try to manage my computer time, and answering questions and comments, that's my computer time. So anyway, in an effort to manage time make more time, more studio time, actually, I am sorting things out, so I don't really even see questions or comments from people who haven't subscribed. Okay, I don't think it's too much to ask. If you want me to answer a question, then I don't honestly think it's too much to ask you to subscribe. That's all. Okay, so that's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed it, and please, please, please have a great day. I'm Donna, signing off. Bye.